Hi, I'm Roshan and this is my story. I grew up in church as a young person, but to me, God was a God of rules and regulations. At the age of 14, I fell into drug addiction and my addiction consumed my life. When I was 18, I had an experience where I felt embraced in Jesus' arms. It was then that I realized that God was not one of rules and regulations, but one of infinite love. I was reminded of a prophecy when I was 14 that when I experienced the love of a father for the first time, I would weep uncontrollably. I sat there and cried tears of joy for hours. Shortly after this, I had a psychosis where I found myself in hospital. I was terrified and not sure whether I could trust my perception of reality. Shortly after, I had a car accident where 3 people walked in front of my car and one of those people lost their life. I felt like I was responsible and I was consumed with guilt. I felt that if I didn't exist, then this person would never have lost their life. My psychosis and my car accident compounded to drive me into a dark place. I tried to escape even further into my addiction and withdrew from my support around me. When people would reach out to make sure I was okay, I would ignore them because I didn't want to talk about what had happened. I was not ready to face it. 2 years after my car accident, I went to rehab for a year. It was here that I opened up the Bible for the first time. I started reading in the Psalms, and at Psalm 5, I read that God protects the righteous with his favour like a shield. This verse jumped out to me, and I started to realise that when we read the Bible, we have a dialogue open up with God. I turned to Genesis chapter 1 and decided to read the Bible from the start. These moments when reading the Bible were some of the happiest of my life. After my year in rehab, I left knowing that God had taken my guilt, my shame away, that he loved me so much that he sent his son Jesus to die for me. And I realized that if Jesus went through what he did for my sake, then I had to make the most out of the life that he'd given me and the life that he'd redeemed on my behalf. Today, Jesus is central to my life. I'm no longer consumed by my addiction and I've knitted myself into a wonderful church community. I have a 4-year-old daughter who brings joy to my life, and I aspire to one day be a teacher where I can help other people that were struggling like me feel seen and heard. I'm so thankful for the journey that God has taken me on because he has shown me that no matter how tough life gets, he never leaves me nor forsakes me. I feel truly loved by Jesus.